According to a lawsuit filed recently, YouTube has been directing recruiters not to hire white people. It's rumored that this isn't anything new in Silicon Valley, and I doubt anyone watching this is surprised to hear that this is an official policy. The left has been letting their anti-white racism hang out in the open for quite some time, so I think it's safe to assume that the racism behind closed doors might be a little bit amplified. But let's be honest, this was easy to predict considering that we've had government-sanctioned anti-white laws for decades. One of my first red pills was when I picked up a pamphlet in my high school guidance counselor's office that was advertising opportunities to work for the federal government fighting what they termed cybercrime, which sounded kind of exciting. I was a nerd and a patriot, and the idea of being an ethical hacker sounded fun. Keep in mind, this was before Snowden or even the Patriot Act, so you'll have to forgive my naivete. I opened the pamphlet and I'll never forget the first words that I read. It left such an impression. I'm reasonably sure this is what it said word for word. It said, "The NSA has exciting opportunities in the world of tech, especially if you're a woman or a minority." My first thought was, well, fuck you too. And my second thought was, I don't even know a woman or even a minority that even knows how to use a computer. And I'm not trying to be funny here. At the time, everyone I knew that knew how to competently operate a computer was a nerdy white kid. And so to see the NSA attempt to discourage that demographic in the name of diversity was pretty eye-opening. And don't tell me in the comments how you had a black friend that was a computer hacker in the late 90s. I'm sure there's an exception that proves the rule, but anyone who attended like the first few DEF CON conferences, for example, knows exactly how much diversity among white nerds in the early days of the internet was. And it had nothing to do with evil white supremacists jealously guarding their keyboards. But if diversity, which has always been an anti-white code word, has become more important than skill, perhaps we're seeing the beginning of the end of the tech giants. Maybe we'll see something akin to what happened in Haiti when they decided to murder all the white people. Maybe Google will become a shithole company. The market might work its magic on Google, kind of like it would if an NBA team decided to only hire quadriplegic Eskimos. It might take a while, they have a monopoly. But even a monopoly can't survive being openly hostile to the majority of its users while engaging in openly racist hiring practices. I'm already exploring alternatives, as are other YouTubers. I hope this lawsuit and the lawsuit filed by James Damore will be the wake-up call that big tech needs, but I'm not holding my breath. The left has become an anti-white movement, and the left has taken over big tech. The only whites that are even tolerated by the left are those that advocate for their own exclusion or those that seek the status of second-class citizens. Honestly, maybe that's because they also know what happened in Haiti and what's beginning to happen in South Africa. Maybe that's the future they see in this country, and their beta genetics are just reacting to the threat the only way they know how, by submitting. But I know there are many of us out there that are tired of being blamed for sins we've never committed. Tired of the practitioners of institutionalized racism projecting their guilt onto the heirs of this once great nation whose culture they seek to destroy with reckless abandon. Remember, the left always projects its crimes onto its opponents. So what does it really mean when they label us all supremacists? For BlackPilled, I'm Devin Stack. If you like my videos, please consider subscribing to my channel, sharing them, and of course, if you'd like me to keep making them, feel free to send cryptocurrency to the addresses in the description. Also, thank you very much for the patrons I have received so far. I think I've got about 11 of them so far. I'm still figuring out Patreon, but I'm going to try to get some kind of exclusive content on there once I have my head wrapped around it. But that's patreon.com/BlackPilled. And again, I really do appreciate the support that's been Really amazing to see people step up. And the more I see that, the more I'm confident we're going to win.